Ooni of Ife's family, including Queen Naomi, celebrate as Dr. Lizzy returns back to the palace after her mother was said to have come to, take her out of the palace to go and have some rest after the Ooni of Ife's wife, Olori Mariam, gave her woto for always supporting the Ooni of Ife and for the mansion that the Ooni of Ife said he was going to build for her. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Deola Ooni, bringing fresh and spicy gist from the sources still on the royals. Deola writes, midweek, happy midweek to you, my Deola Ride. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, people. I love you. You guys have been so supportive, and it's because of your level of support that is making me, feel so committed to you. I don't want you to miss any single, update from the palace. Like back to back, I'll be dropping them here. I appreciate you guys. If you're yet to subscribe, kindly go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and do not forget to turn on the notification bell. Report reaching us right now is that there is celebration in the palace of the Ooni of Ife as Dr. Elizabeth returns back to the palace. What happened was the mother really got scared for Dr. Elizabeth and decided to come and carry her to go and rest her head. Being in the palace of the Ooni of Ife is not easy at all from what we are hearing. They say that it is so cumbersome to be in that palace and even survive the things that happen in that palace. So, with all the gospels left and right, Ooni would do something for Elizabeth is trouble. Ooni would do something for Queen Naomi, trouble. Everybody, except he does for, these women. But one thing that a lot of women do not know is that when all you do to a man is complain about this, complain about that, if that is all you're good for, that man will never ever love you. Yes, so that's the truth. Because men do not like too much complaint. And right now, these women are beginning to sound like broken records. Like it's really tough. So right now, they say that when Dr. Elizabeth returned back to the palace, everybody was very happy, and they said Queen Naomi begged Dr. Elizabeth, and the Ooni of Ife's father begged Dr. Elizabeth not to leave Ooni again, not to leave the palace again. Now, the reason is because we are all aware that Dr. Elizabeth is Ooni's personal physician. Now, let me clarify something. I saw a comment where somebody was asking me if Dr. Elizabeth is a doctor. Yes, so Dr. Elizabeth is a medical doctor, and she is an academic doctor. Dr. Elizabeth is one of the most, will I say the most educated of all of them. Dr. Elizabeth has 2 doctorate degree. No, not 2 doctorate. Dr. Elizabeth has a medical degree and has a doctorate degree. And her doctorate degree is in the field of IT and all of that. And so Ooni actually married women who are very intelligent, and women who have, degrees from very renowned universities in the world. And, after he married them, he came to announce to us how his wives were so qualified and all of that. But, that does not translate to the feelings you have for somebody. Queen Naomi may not have all of those degrees, but she is absolutely intelligent, absolutely brilliant. If you agree with me, say, yeah, Deola Ram. Yes, yeah, Deola Ram, yes, so. And so our Queen Naomi baby does not have to have all the degrees, but the Ooni of Ife would not do without her. You see, Queen Naomi is favored from God. God has already favored her. But right now, they say Queen Naomi has pleaded with Dr. Elizabeth. Ooni of Ife's father has pleaded with Dr. Elizabeth as well, not to leave Ooni of Ife anymore, because right now they say that they are happy and they are at peace with themselves, because they do believe that because Dr. Elizabeth is there in the palace, Dr. Elizabeth will do everything that is within her power to protect the Ooni of Ife. But leaving Dr. Elizabeth to all of these women is something that Ooni's father will be very worried about. Everybody will be worried about, because these women do not seem as though they are concerned about anything that has to do with the monarch. They are concerned about his position. They are concerned about, who comes first. Whether Ooni survives it or not does not matter, because if they were truly concerned about Ooni of Ife, himself, they would have been concerned about the plight of Tade Nikawo. So right now, Dr. Elizabeth, who stayed with the mother for a few days, decided to come back to the palace because, yes, so she herself was very worried. You do know that Olori Runke is in the palace. I told you the other day that they blocked Olori Runke, Olori Mariam. For the last 3 weeks, there have been serious basketballs. There was a time that Olori Mariam was shut out from the palace. There was a time Olori Mariam's door was also shut. Runke too was asked to go and stay with her parents. But of course, you do know that the family intervened. And since they agreed that, yes, so they are willing to leave the palace for the Ooni of Ife to, settle down with the wife while they try to build out there. Ooni of Ife, of course, you do know that he's a kind-hearted man, and Ooni saw reason to allow them back into the palace. So these women are complete, like in the palace right now, as I speak today. Ronka is in the palace, Miriam is in the palace. They are not outside the palace. They are still operating from the palace. Now, like I explained to you, the reason why the Ooni of Ife had to allow them come back into the palace allegedly is because that they are in agreement right now that they have given them 3 months, 90 days to leave the palace and find a way to settle down in those houses that the Ooni of Ife is getting for them. So with that being said, these women are there in the palace. So when Dr. Elizabeth left, everybody was worried about the Ooni of Ife, even though the Ooni of Ife is still not allowing them into his chambers because he said that the 30 days that he gave them is going to come and pass because they pushed him and allowed him to give that order, and so he's not somebody that will give an order and will take it back. Since they tried him, they wanted him to do this, that he has done it, that he does not want to look like a king that will say one thing and will not go through with it, that he's not going to see them for 1 whole month, that is 30 days, that they cannot come into his chambers, they cannot serve him anything, they cannot really see. But if they have events and all of that slated for them, they will go, they will answer their cry-on call, and they will come back. But to say they will come to his chambers, none of them is allowed to come into the chambers of the Ooni of Ife. So everybody got really angry and worried when Dr. Lizzy left, because right now, Dr. Lizzy happens to be that one person that people are very sure has the plight of the Ooni of Ife at heart, and Dr. Temitope as well. But Temitope is actually very quiet. Temitope is not somebody who is confrontational. Temitope may not necessarily want any problem. Temitope just wants to stay alive for her children. Temitope wants to stay alive for her children. No, she doesn't want this plenty complication. But it is what it is. So Naomi has made Dr. Lizzy to promise that she will never leave the Ooni of Ife until, everything is restored and everybody comes into the palace. And the Ooni of Ife's father and family, they have begged Dr. Elizabeth not to leave the palace anymore. I wanted to bring you this update. I'm going to bring you more. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.